What's up, everybody? My name is Maya Danielle, and welcome to the first episode of Unpack That Bag, where I help you to carry what matters most. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So excited to be doing this. This has been years in the making, and yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I hope you are too. Um, so let's jump in. Let's talk a little bit. Honestly, let me give you the first fun fact about myself. I have ADHD, okay? I went undiagnosed for a very long time, and I will be talking about that in a separate episode, like Black women with ADHD and all that good stuff. But I'll just say, anyway, I went undiagnosed for a very long time. So I am just learning how to manage my symptoms. I am just learning how to manage my brain, and I am now medicated. Clap it up. I don't know if I'm gonna add sound effects yet, but let's clap it up for that. The fact that I am now medicated. Thank God. So, with that being said, my brain is all over the place, like 24/7, honestly, truly. So, please bear with me as my thoughts are coming out, as I am articulating, because that is also something that I'm working on. So, yeah, that's fun fact number one. Like I said, my name is Maya Danielle. I am, I don't think I'm really that interesting, actually. Probably not that interesting to like the average person. But yeah, I'll tell you a bit about me, and then we can hop into like what this podcast is going to be about. So, a little bit about me. I am 25 years old, I believe, at this time. I'm saying it like whatever. I'm from North Carolina. And y'all see that brain working? Okay, cool. Bear with me. Um, so educational background. I went to University of North Carolina at Greensboro um in 2017 for my undergrad degree, my bachelor's degree. And I started off in psychology because I've known for all of my life that I wanted to be a therapist. Like I knew that that was the path for me. Like I knew I wanted to help people. It's something I've always enjoyed, just helping people, being there for people when they needed it. So that was like I thought that psychology was the route to go. That was kind of just what I had been told and been taught. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my degree in psychology, and then I'm sure I have to go to school after that to become a therapist, right? That was kind of my thought process. So anyway, before that happened, my last semester, or like the semester before my graduating semester of high school, my father passed. Could not have expected that. Could not have predicted that, but he passed. And it was like a just a it was an experience, you know. It's like having to deal with that my senior year of high school, having to navigate kind of like how do I deal with this, but then also finish school. And so I'll be honest, like I chose not to deal with it pretty much. Like I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna push on, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna become a counselor so I can help people and I can help people through things like this, but I was not helping myself. So anyway, what happened was I got UNCG, started off in the psychology program, and I hated most of my classes. Like I didn't like it. Not that I didn't enjoy the content because there's always been something that I've enjoyed. It just did not, I was just like, I think it was just school. Like the transition of going to school in itself is a big transition for anybody. And that's something that's not talked about a lot, just how um it is to be out on your own and like have to navigate living life. And like I said, I had undiagnosed ADHD at the time. So I was able to skate on by in high school. Like I could skate. Okay. If it's one thing your girl did throughout high school, she was skating. Um, and so I was able to skate and really all throughout my educational career, elementary to like the grade school, I skated, baby. I was in the what's it called, AIG classes. I was in all the advanced classes. Like I was able to get into the early college so that I could graduate high school with my what do you call it? My associate's degree. Maybe I was skating. But what most people don't know is that I was really struggling. Like it was really a struggle for me to do these things, and I took the easy way out a lot of times. But I was skating, like I was kind of just sticking and finessing throughout those grades. So when I got to college, things were a little bit different. Like I was on my own schedule. I was making my own schedule. You know, when you make your classes, um, things were just really different. So my first semester just did me in. I was not in a good headspace mentally. I miss my dad a lot. I hadn't processed that. So I was just like, you know what? I want to do whatever it takes to get out of school as fast as possible. I don't even think I want to go back to school anymore. Like I'll figure something else out. I can do a communications degree and go into journalism or whatever. Like I could do anything but this. So that's kind of what I did. Like I was like, I just changed my major and I was like, it'll push me back a semester, but I was already set to finish in 2 years. So it would only set me back one more semester. I could do 2.5 years. So that's what I did. I changed my major to communication. I still had a minor in African American and African diaspora studies. Because maybe we wear black around here, okay? So that was also something that I did. But yeah, it was just like, okay, now I can get up out of here in decent timing and whatever. So anyway, I finished school and I got my communications degree. That semester after I graduated, COVID hit. Y'all, I don't even have to tell y'all because y'all was there. Everybody was there. COVID hit. So I was not able to find a job. And we always talk about like that post-grad depression, baby. I was feeling it all. Okay. It was real. It was real, number one, because that's a thing in and of itself, and we'll talk about that. But then also like there's a pandemic. Nobody's hiring. We don't need people in these jobs anymore because if you're not essential, you wasn't working. Now I was working at Target at the time, so like I was essential. I had a job, but not in my not in my field. Like I went and got this degree, and I love kind of skated through it. Okay, we're on the same page. Anyway, so yeah, I just it was like one thing after another. But I do feel like during COVID, it was a time for me to really sit down and just sit with what I wanted for myself. Sit with God. Like I found God a lot in that time of my life. And so and again, these are all topics that we'll talk about eventually. But yeah, I think that I had a lot of inner growth during that time. And I was like, okay, like there are changes that need to be made. I'm going to have to make them. I did end up getting a job working in insurance, which was super interesting. I didn't hate it, but it just kind of pushed me to say like, okay, wow, those dreams you had, they're still here. Like the stuff that you wanted to do, like the goal that you had to help people, um, they're still here. And like, yeah, you're helping out in the customer service aspect. You're talking to people all day. People are telling you your issues. Like I was dealing with home insurance and car insurance, and people have things happening to them, and they're where all the time anyway, pretty much. So I was listening to people talk about things were happening or like, there's hurricanes and people are calling about like just the trouble that they're going through, but they just lost their home or things like that. And so I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this forever. Like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. God has something way bigger for me. And he did. And it was to be a counselor. So that leads us to kind of where we're at today. I am, like I said, back in school. So now I am currently at North Carolina Agricultural Technical State University, getting my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I went back in 2022. And yeah, I'm excited. I graduate in May. So I will have my degree, of course, in clinical mental health counseling. And then I'll also go for my license to get licensed as a clinical mental health counselor. So I'm really excited about that. I've been in internship. This is my second semester in internship. But I have just gained so much experience and so much knowledge through um, my supervisor, through my experiences with my clients, through school itself. And so I'm really excited to share all of what I've learned and then continue to grow because this is just the beginning. I also have a wonderful group of friends, like a wonderful group of friends that I met in this program. And so we have been just a tremendous help to each other. I found community, and I think community is like so very important. And so, actually, one of our first talks here on the podcast will be about community. So, I'm really excited to share that. Also, some really exciting news to come with all of us girls as well. There'll be some exciting things happening. So, I can't wait to share that when the time is ready. But yeah, I've just learned so much, and so also, with my degree, I will be getting certified in marriage and family counseling because that's kind of where my passion is. Fun fact number two for the day, I am also a certified birth doula. So a couple years ago, I think 2022, the same year I started my mental health program, I was like, I know for sure that I want to work with mothers. Like I find motherhood, I find parenthood, and I find the process of birth just to be as beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, if there's any sign of God, if there's any sign of just how amazing creation is, it is in birth and giving birth. And so I'm really, really excited to get that started. I think that yeah, so anyway, there's that brain again. I went and got my certification as a birth doula, and a lot of what I learned in that certification process was just like being a parent, becoming a mother, becoming a parent in general. It is a very transformative experience. And it's also can be a scary experience. Like unless you've been a parent before or you've like done extensive like work with parents or I mean, yeah, anyway, I don't want to dive into that right now, but what I'm saying is I think that it can be an experience that most people do not know how to navigate. And so it was really important for me to become diverse in that, especially because I don't have kids, I'm not a parent, so I don't understand completely everything. But it was important for me to learn what I could know. That way I could help people. And so even understanding that while mothers are the ones who are carrying the baby and giving birth to that child, it is an experience to be experienced by both a mother and a father. And so, a part of what I want to do in my marriage and family therapy work or couples work is to help parents to transition into parenthood. Um, and, having a baby takes a toll on you as a parent or you as a person and you in your relationship. So helping couples to navigate those changes is something that I'm really interested in. So yeah, that was kind of like a short blurb. Anyway, I do hope to really like just, I don't know, like I want that to be kind of a focus here. I'm really interested in the workings of relationships and dating and kind of how people create relationships with people. One thing that I wanted to kind of just put out there is that I feel like a lot of the baggage that we carry, because this podcast is called Unpack That Bag, so I want to emphasize that a lot of the baggage that we carry as people, it comes from the relationships that we have, whether they were relationships with our parents, relationships with our grandparents, relationships with our cousins, friends, other family members, they stick with us. Like if you had a good relationship with your, and I don't want to get too like Freudian, so you know, excuse me here, but like if you had a good relationship with your mom, typically you take those things and you apply them in your life. If you had a bad relationship with your mom, typically there are things that are missing, or like that you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, and it affects you in all your day to day. So I say this to say like your relationships and how you navigate throughout the world tend to build up who you are. So we hold on to some of those things, we hold on to some of those experiences that we've had in relationships, and they kind of lead us towards how we continue to navigate. And so a lot of what I want to do is just work with people and help people through some of those relationship issues that we've kind of occurred throughout the years, whether it be romantic, platonic, familial, and understand how we can use those things to be a betterment to ourselves instead of holding us back. Like we don't want nothing that's gonna weigh us down. And baby, some of y'all be holding on to some stuff that is weighing you down. And so again, our journey here is to help you unpack that bag. Only carry what matters most. Only carry what's gonna make you the best you that you can be. Okay, okay. Um, so yeah, that's kind of that. One thing I want to bring up, in my sessions with my clients, I always emphasize like be your authentic self. Be who you are. I, Maya Dale, I'm gonna always be myself. I'm gonna always speak my mind, and I'm always gonna be who I need to be. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. I'm gonna tell it like it is, and we're gonna kiki and we're gonna ha ha and we're gonna laugh. Like professionalism to me looks very different than kind of how it's taught in school, how it's taught in just like society, like how you see professionalism to be. I don't agree with none of that. I think that professionalism is dependent on your audience. And so I would hope that my audience would be as comfortable in their authenticity and comfortable in themselves as possible to accept me and mine. But also understand that if you're not, I want to help you to be there. So I think authenticity is like key. Being who you are. Because if you walk around being somebody else or you walk around trying to be somebody else, it's gonna always come off as like, girl, what are you doing? Like it don't look right. For example, if you trying to walk around like you got big bands, and you might got big bands, somebody with the big bands, they gonna clock it every time. And it might be even somebody like me who ain't got the big bands who won't clock it. Cause I can see through you to see that you're just like me. And so anyway, I say all that to say to be authentic to who you are. I'm gonna be authentic to who I am. I'm gonna tell it like it is. Um, my face is done today. I look good. I got lashes on, y'all. I don't wear lashes like that no more. But I got lashes on today, y'all. There are gonna be times where I come here and my lashes are not on. My face is not done. Because I got acne. And every time I wear makeup, she cuts up. So there will be times where, but that's me being who I am. I don't feel like I always have to come at 100% physically, like as far as appearance. Like I'm always gonna look my best and try to look my best because that's something that I'm working on. But also like understanding that who I am is who I am, whether my face be or not. And so I do want to put that out there. Like I really encourage that. I'm not gonna always be perfect. And so yeah, I'm gonna show up as I show up. And a part of what I am working for and working towards is just to show up. Okay. So with my ADHD, like sometimes the hardest thing for me to do is just to show up. And so I'm gonna show up, whether it's perfect or not, I'm gonna show up. And that's just that. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, yeah, I hope y'all like vibing. Are y'all vibing? I'm kind of vibing. I'm feeling it. Anyway, whatever. So As we move forward, like I said, a little bit more about what this podcast is going to be about. It's going to be a little bit about mental health. I definitely think that I don't want to the main focus of this podcast to be mental health, but really it's more so wellness. And so I'm going to look up one of the things. I know I'm all over the place, the ADHD. Um, so as I've been in my internship, I am like so blessed to be at the internship that I'm in. And that's because I have a very, very, very supportive supervisor. And she is like so herself. She's so authentic and she encourages authenticity out of her clinicians and her interns. So I really appreciated that because it's kind of molded me as a clinician and how I want to operate within the field of therapy and with my clients. And so one of the things that I truly admire about her is like your therapist doesn't know everything, right? And so we kind of go into it, and it can kind of be scary as a therapist in training or counselor in training, to go into sessions with clients, and feel like you kind of have to know everything, especially being young, because if you're younger and you're working with older clients, there can be kind of like that power dynamic that's like I'm your therapist, I'm here to help you, but I'm also younger than you. Like there's the whole thing. And so I think it's a little intimidating. One thing that she has normalized for me is that you do not have to know everything. Like as a therapist, you know what you know and you know what you've been taught, but there are going to be things that you don't know. And I think that when you present to your client, like I'm a human as well as you are a human, and I do have training, and there are things that I know that you probably don't know and I can help you with. But also like there are things that I don't know. Like I don't know some definitions off the top of my head. You asked me a question in session and I don't know it. We're gonna Google it. We're gonna look it up together. And I think that's such a big piece of authenticity to say, I don't know this, but I'm gonna look it up and we're gonna learn it together. And I think it shows just again, just you being a human, you being a person, you're not a robot. And it also shows that like I'm always continuing to learn. I don't have a problem admitting that I don't know something. And you don't ever want to give somebody advice or you don't ever want to give somebody information that's incorrect just because your ego and your pride is too big to say, I don't know that. Let me check on it real quick. So with that being said, I want this podcast to to really dig into wellness and what wellness is and how wellness operates in our life. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to Google here the definition of mental health. Okay. The definition of mental health is the state of well-being in which individuals are able to cope with stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn and work effectively, and contribute to their community. A person's condition with regard to their psychological or emotional well-being. So well-being is that word there that I kind of wanted to highlight. So again, we talk about mental health and some people don't even know what that means. Some people think, well, like, oh, your mental health just means like you're crazy, like you got issues, like you this and this, especially like in the Black community, baby. We're gonna talk about it. But it's a state of well-being. That's what your mental health is. It's a state of well-being. And so there are many things that can contribute to the state of your well-being. You could be in a toxic relationship. That's going to contribute to the state of your well-being. You know, y'all know, if you ever been in a relationship and you and your boo is at it and y'all texting back and forth, y'all at it, and you at work, you performing your best at work. Why you doing all that? No, you're not. Let's talk about it. So again, your mental health is affected by that, regardless of how you want to look at it. It is affected by that. If you're not performing well at work, you're probably not doing your best. If you're not doing your best, that's going to cause other issues. And so, again, your well-being is affected by multiple aspects of your life. If your health is bad, like you're sick, that affects your well-being. That affects how you operate, how you are able to cope with different things. If you weren't expecting to be sick and you end up sick for longer than you thought you would be. Now you're out of work again. You see the pattern we're going here. So Um, that is kind of where I wanted to go with that. So as this podcast progresses, we will be talking about mental health. We will be talking about what it means to be well. How can wellness look like in your life? How can you continue to be well with life stressors, like a loss of a job, a loss of a family member? How can you continue to be well even when things are not going good? How can you be better in your relationships so that certain things that you've been through don't affect how you move in future relationships. We're going to talk about it all, okay? Again, I think that as this progresses, I really want it to be a space of healing. I want it to be a space of learning, and I want it to be a space of just good old fun, baby. I love having fun. I love joking. I love laughing. And I will also have some very, very, very special guests here on the podcast. So I'm super excited for that as well. But I am just really welcoming to all the knowledge that I'm going to learn as well. I look forward to being able to share what I know, and I hope that we are able to just have a good time. Like I said, your mental health, your lifestyle, um, your relationships, all, all have such a big role in who you are. There's such a big role in how you navigate throughout life. We're gonna talk about it all, baby. So anyway, as this podcast ends, I do want to say that like I am always changing, always evolving. So things will change and things will be different here and there. And I just want to invite you all to join me on this journey, be at peace with me on this journey. And yeah, I think it's going to be great. One thing that I do with my clients at the end of our sessions is a little deep breathing. Okay, because sometimes when we talk about tough stuff, or sometimes when we just even having a key, like that heart rate gets to pumping, and like the mind still just it does what it does. Um, I like to do a little deep breathing, a little grounding exercise, and so I want to invite you all, if you would like to stay to the end of this episode, and we're gonna do a little bit of deep breathing. Um, Yes, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a very simple deep breathing exercise where you are going to inhale for 3 seconds. You're going to hold it for 3 seconds, and then you're going to release for 3 seconds. Something quick, something simple, something easy. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and do it. Going to inhale through your nose, hold, and release through your mouth. Again. I feel better already. You guys, I want to thank you again so much for listening to the podcast. I hope that you have gained something from this. If not, nothing, like just a little bit about who I am. Please feel free to follow me on my social medias. I will have that all linked below. And also like tell a friend, tell a friend, okay? Tell a friend that young black girl from Henderson, North Carolina that lives in, well, she's an Aggie. Let's do that. She started a podcast and she's talking about good stuff, okay? She's talking about relationships. She's talking about mental health. She gonna tell you a little bit about everything, okay? Tell your friend that and send her over here to this page or him because I'm for the men as well. I am not a man hater. Also, disclaimer, this podcast is not, okay? Not a substitute for therapy. Please go get a therapist. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I cannot wait to see y'all again next week. Bye.